This story begins on September 7th, 2024, when I woke up and immediately went back to hibernating for another 208 days because I was just a smidgen too early. Finally rising from my slumber on today, April 3rd, my first course of action was to wish April 3rd a happy birthday, as denoted in this graphic. I then checked all the worst news sources and realized the Minecraft movie was coming out today. Wait, sorry, a Minecraft movie? My bad, there must be others. Naturally, I immediately planned an outing with all of my friends, acquaintances, and enemies to watch its theatrical premiere in real time. But then I remembered there is this crazy thing called school which I am legally required to attend. So that plan went down the drain. At school, I entered the classroom to find out that today's repetitive activity was mathematics. I often hear people reminisce about how much easier math used to be in primary school, but there's just something about knowing pi isn't a food and cos isn't a variety of lettuce that just screams iconic to me. Even still, I find little enjoyment in the whims of pure mathematics, and realistically no one's using this ever again. But I'm not ignorant enough to forget that the primary purpose of our math studies are for problem solving, or at least they'll tell you that. I was starting to have my doubts about this problem solving until I realized it was okay, because I found this article, written by Harry Zandberg Wiggins, about why it's good. And no need to worry, Harry Zandberg Wiggins does not work for, consult, own shares in, or receive funding from any company or organization that would benefit from this article, and has disclosed no relevant affiliations beyond their academic appointment. Today in mathematics, we received our test results, and I noticed that halfway down one of the questions, I'd received some feedback from the teacher. Apparently, I'd misapplied a log law. Who can blame me, you might be thinking. The answer is the writers of the Geneva Convention, because I conked out on this question somewhere around where I made another error leading to this very confusing and deceivingly simple looking equation that makes no sense at all. Going back to earlier, if my solving skills do not deceive me, the above equation is able to be simplified to 16 equals 4. What? 16 equals 4? If we let this fact get out, world peace will be destroyed, humanity will collapse, all nuclear weapons will simultaneously fire, and everyone will laugh, because this was the result of a 15-year-old making an oopsie in his math test. But realistically, the amount of people who would be able to point out that my working was wrong prior to me proving 16 equals 4 is minuscule on a wider scale. So that got me thinking. If I can generate a semi-logical proof that 16 equals 4, what else could I mathematically conjure a proof of? Of course, some individuals with a bit of a hero complex may try to halt my Machiavellian mathematics. But the solution to that is just to call them nerds, and everyone knows those kind of suck, too rich and flavorful, and they always gave me a headache. So let's suppose that in a very enthralling dice game, where we collectively roll an equal dice repeatedly and write down what we get, it would take infinite rolls to get any number infinite times, right? So what happens if we substitute the infinity symbol for an x? Well, now it takes x rolls to have an x-long streak of x number, and since x could be anything, we substitute it for a 1. Now suddenly we've proved that it would take one roll to have a 1 long streak of 1s. That means that if we roll a dice one time, we're certain to get a 1 long streak of the number 1. So that means there's a 100% chance of rolling a 1? What? A helicopter is above my house. News breaks the world around. Dice are revealed to have been rigged this whole time? Well, no. Keen-eyed individuals may notice that the fallacy here lies in semantics, i.e., the subtle meanings of words. We can group the infinity and x symbols as things that aren't numbers. We could trick anyone into believing these could function as equal pronumerals, since they're both not integers, or any other type of number, I guess. Ignore the fact that infinity is technically a number. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And that x and 1 can be equitable to anyone with a shaky understanding of beginner algebra, since often equations will get the solver to substitute the x for an integer. So one can see that even though infinity, also known as an infinitely large number, and 1, the smallest non-zero positive integer, are very much not equitable, it is possible to prove they are through your evil x. So, to bring back this bloated video to its premise, I wanted to construct a proof that 0 equals 2. Only issue is, the aforementioned school turned my head into TV static, and I can't think of anything other than stupid words to write in this PowerPoint notes box. So of course, I asked ChatGPT to do it for me since I have no integrity. And it more than obliged. But ChatGPT must be one step ahead, because instead of proving 0 equals 2 like I asked, ChatGPT provided me with a proof that 2 equals 1? It's probably just a case of the terrible twos. Hopefully Rhode Island enjoyed all the water that this stupid prompt gave it, but anyway, to wrap this up, we can conclude from this video that 2 is equal to 1. So therefore, 2 does not equal 0, since it's 1 instead.